No, just so that we can allow
evening,
almost
everyone. My name is Elseba Kokeo, famously known as Sebi Cox Nyasego. Thank you so much, Bwana CS. I have a question. Mine is on tax literacy. We know that the rejection of finance bill partly stem from genuine concern. A significant number is fueled by misinformation and disinformation. Unlike the previous approaches, what incentives or measures has the National Treasury put in place to make sure that people understand this? Other than what we have today, which is very informative, what other measures are you putting in place to make sure that this is there? Because
it's working.
Okay. I've seen the participation, the budget participation, the public participation that is going on, but I can tell you for sure, not so many people will access such kind of forum. So what are we going to do? How are we going to use social media? Question 2, on the KRA. As a content creator, my question would be, how are you going to make sure that we are not double taxed or exposed to excessive taxing when it comes to the withholding tax, the digital tax, and all that? Thank you.
All right, just one more question. This lady here.
We're doing injustice to this cause. I don't know if the accident.
We'll come to you.
Yeah, so mine is very simple to Bwana CSC. I think it's I do understand the importance of the government to actually get taxes. I know sometimes it's not easy, but we have to get taxes for this nation to work, and I get that. My question is particularly, I know education was given 701 billion, right? I didn't say my name. My name is Charlotte. I'm trying to be very brief. My name is Charlotte. I think we live around the same place. Yesterday I wanted to come to your place and say, "No, interview kesho, but so I meet you today. So I just wanted to say this. So I run an organization called the Big Talks. It's a civic education movement that seeks to create awareness, simplify bills. I mean, nani hapa akiona bill from Parliament or Senate anaelewa? Right? It's too hard. It's a little bit legalese, right? So that's where me as Charlotte comes in and breaks down those things. I did that for the finance bill last year, for the whole 132 pages of it. I'm still reading this new finance bill because I know there's a draft, but haijamalizika completely. So my question is this: now with education, it received 701 billion. If I'm not wrong, around that range.
That's correct.
Yeah, and then teachers are being given 377 billion, teachers.
Yes.
And then HELB is 55 billion, right? Now we have seen how UN is plummeting, right? All the major universities. When I was young, when you could hear the University of Nairobi, unatishika kiasi, right? Because that was the OG school, right? You could get the AG, the professors were coming from the University of Nairobi. But now we are seeing it, plummeting into areas that tunashtuka, the university is going down. I mean, Moi, people are not graduating anymore. It's like
question,
it stopped.
Please.
Right? Sorry, I'm getting there. Paul, my question is just this: when 701 billion is being allocated to education, and I know we really want to reduce taxes, what is the state's initiative to, bail out public universities? Can we hear about that? Kuna funding, anything just about that? Yeah. Sorry for taking your time.
All right, this gentleman here, he has fought for his
question.
It's the final question, please, for time. It's the final question.
Thank you so much, Bwana CS. My name is Kombedo Michael. I work with non-state askers and partly work with audio media team. Bwana CS, you are doing fantastic job under difficult circumstances in this nation, in this volatile nation. Bwana CS, we annually raise additional revenue to fund budget deficit to major project. Why is it that we have a major road, a super international highway, Kisumu-Busia Road, is dilapidated, is very small in size, is leading to death trap, and no MP in my area in Luo Nyanza is talking about it. Kisumu-Busia Road. People are dying in that road. There is a problem, it's small in size, and nothing is happening in that road. They are just saying, pesa inalala huko, lakini barabara yetu kutoka Kisumu mpaka Busia haufanyi chochote. Lastly, I hope now that you are there, I hope that Baba 6K will be landing in my M-Pesa. Thank you, Bwana.
Let's start with the question around education. I think it's another question. Could you combine it with this? There's a question regarding the KCSE. This came from an online listener called Nyambus from Facebook. She asked whether or not there is funding for KCSE exams and exactly what is the plan for scholarships as well.
Thank you very much. In terms of education, you are spot on, Charlotte. Yeah? You are spot on. You said that we spent 700. Actually, this budget, the budget estimates are 700. Which 377 will go to TSC to teachers. There is another 7.2 to employ intern teachers, billion. But I want to also point out to you that yes, there is actually HELB is 41.1 billion, but there is 16.9 for what we call the university scholarship, which is a component there. So, but then there is 86 billion for funding. That is the money that we support the university with universities. However, that money is not enough. Our universities are struggling and some decisive action has to be taken. I think the Ministry of Education must look at how then to get our universities back. Some of us who went through some of these universities, I went through the same university you are talking about, University of Nairobi, Lower Kabete, and when I see headline stories that University of Nairobi is crumbling, it pains me because that's a thought that no one would ever imagine, and we need to look at it, but also look at the sustainability, because I think we must be alive to the fact that the resources are limited. How then do we encourage universities? Universities are doing very well out there on two areas, research and consultancy. And that, by the way, when we started parallel program, because parallel program just started when I was leaving the university, and it started when I became a staff of the university. We came with that system of parallel as a stopgap. Already there were challenges, but it was just a stopgap to lead us to more sustainable ways of generating revenue for our universities. We need to think, and well, I'm in that position where we should be thinking for government. The suggestion that I have is that we must make sure that we push our universities to a level where they can generate revenue in more sustainable ways, where they have competence, and that is research and consultancy. So, but we have provided some 86 billion for that. We would have provided more, but imagine day secondary school taking 54.9 billion. Free or subsidized JSS 30.9 billion. Free primary education 7.9 billion. TVETs 5.2 for subsidized, and then there is 2.5 for capitation, 5.2 for capitation, and 2.5 for learning. We have other budget lines like feeding program, another 3 billion. You know, when you add all this, you basically don't have resources. That is, and education is already taking 28% of our budget. So that's what I would say. In terms of examination fee, yes, we are going to fund examination. The only thing we are trying to do is to rationalize it. Our examinations have become extremely expensive for nothing. You know, there are no reasons why we should print exams, bring them here, yet we print our passports across here, and passports are even more security issue worldwide than even exams. So we think we can do exams cheaper. We can print, get our exams done in a cheaper way. But we are going to support not only KCSE, by the way, for the first time we are going to have 3 exams this year. Grade 6, grade 9, and the KCSE. So the other question that came was, actually it was not a question. Okay, you talked about tax literacy. I agree with you. That is, we need to take this up more seriously. Many people comment on things they don't understand. You know, sometimes I also rarely go to social media, rarely. When I go to social media and I see comments, I just laugh to myself because I am at least privileged to understand these tax laws. By the way, even when I was in school, if there was an area which I loved most was public finance and taxation. taxation was always an A for me. So I really love this area. So when I see people speaking from point of ignorance, there are people who are openly malicious, who actually they know what they are saying and they want to say something different. So those ones I don't bother with, because you will always find such negativity in any environment. You see, they made Shah look so bad. Shah. They made it look so bad. Where is this now negativity around Shah? Because so many people have now started appreciating that it is there. And by the way, one interesting thing is when it is getting better, people don't talk. They just walk away. But when things are looking bad, they make noise. Anyway, that is the role of opposition, by the way. Even me, when I was there, I really contributed towards the defeat of the last year's finance bill. Because I looked at the 5% which was bad. 95 was okay. 95% was okay. But my duty was not to talk about the 95% which was okay. I looked for the 5 and made sure it was very bad. Because that is the role of opposition. But now that I'm in government, I talk about the 95%. It is your duty to go and look at those 5% and then we engage, isn't it? But I will guarantee you the finance bill of this year, if there is something that is bad, it should be maybe 1%. Yeah. Finally, because of time, I have a flight later in the evening.
Yes.
What's the time, by the way, so that I can know how much?
It's 3:22.
Yeah, so we can finish in the next 15 minutes or so. So I'll give you another round. So, but multiple taxes, we are really trying. Okay, we are really trying very hard to make sure that we don't overtax you people in the digital space. That's why we are lowering some. But we can still engage. If there are some taxes that you think, but with withholding tax, the reason why we put it for most businesses is to enhance tax visibility. It's actually like an advance tax. So that if you find we have taxed you more, we refund you. But usually we put a small figure so that we can see you. It's an easy way of seeing people. But I'll engage with you further. If there are taxes, tax amendments don't have to wait for finance bill. If there's something that you think is very oppressive and is deterring business and job creation, bring it out. Give it to us. Make proposal. This gentleman is very quiet here, but this is the man who puts all those taxes. He's here. This is my director general. It's called Albert Mwenda, but don't lynch him in the street. Everything that he prepares has to pass through me. I have to endorse it. And there is another DG here. This is the owner of PPP. He's a new guy. Yeah? PPP, Public-Private Partnership. Kefa Seda is here. Finally, bills are truly too hard to understand. But that is why we try to bring explainers. Yeah, I hope Albert will do the explainer for the finance bill again. Have you done it?
Yes, there is one.
There is one already. So explainer for finance bill. Make sure it is in social media as much as possible. We have changed things. How many people nowadays read the language? No, but that one you are right. By the way, these technical people, these my technical people, their language is usually very hard. I'm a bit different. Actually, I try to break down their language. And you give it to them, then they have to be technical. I am a bit different. I'm both technical, political, and everything. So I will make sure that language is more understandable. So let's get easier, simplified version of the finance bill. Finally, Michael, I hope you are not asking me to answer the 6,000. I will only answer the Kisumu-Busia Road. Kisumu-Busia Road, I agree with you, is in very bad shape. Maybe something for you to note, we have a road called Lake Victoria Ring Road. It's used to be in 6 lots, but Kisumu-Busia Road was added to it to make it the 7th. So there are 7 lots of about 66 kilometers each. That proposal has gone to World Bank. It's a major road. So for financing, we hope that we are going to get the resources to finance that road. We have, again, I want to repeat, we have challenges with finances. To do a major road in this country now from GOK funds is not easy. Because do you do a road? You know, we ask ourselves, do we do this major highway? Like right now, look at this road here from Rironi all the way to Western Kenya. During Christmas, you take hours on this road because of traffic. Right now we are doing it. It's going to be started in the next 1 month or so, but under PPP. If Busia Road would have been commercially viable, we would take it to PPP, but I doubt. So getting to do a road through GOK funding is a bit of a challenge, because what do? Do you treat people or do a road? Those are the questions that we ask. Do we pay for secondary school education, primary school education? Do we feed our people who are unfed in northern Kenya, or we do a road? Do we fight Al-Shabaab or do a road? You know, we ask those things. Yeah, so that is those are some of the challenges. Not that leaders are not talking about it. They talk. And even if they don't talk, don't you think we know that road exists? We see it, and it has just been the resources. Yeah, let me not talk about the 6,000.
We can take another round of questions.